Morning, everyone. Happy 2023. Love your enthusiasm. Thank you, President. Thank you all for making the time this start of this early new year to be with us today. My name's Kyle Schultz. I am the Executive Vice President of Business Development at World Business Chicago, and it's my honor to kick this proceeding off today. We will hear from elected leaders from around Chicagoland here in a few minutes. We're waiting for the mayor to arrive shortly, but just wanted to begin by saying thank you to each of you. This is the new year. It's an early part of this holiday year, and I know it's not always easy to get up before 9 a.m., especially with young ones. My daughter had a hard time adjusting today. She was used to Daddy being around and watching Peppa Pig. Not being there today, my wife said she was very upset and did not want to watch Peppa Pig. If I speak with a British accent, you will know how I spent the last 2 weeks of the calendar year. For a long time, regionalism in this area has been long sought after. I think my friends from ComEd shared that one of the first meetings about regionalism happened in May of 2006. There have been different iterations tried of this event, and we'll hear from the different leaders to speak about those. But today's a historical day, and we could think of no better venue than the Chicago History Museum to be part of this day. I'd like to send a special thanks to Paul, the CEO of the Chicago History Museum, and his whole team for helping make this day possible. We'll begin here momentarily, so just bear with us as we get started, but thank you all for being here, and we'll get started shortly. Okay, me again. Thank you all for your patience and indulging me with my Peppa Pig stories. Thank you all for being here, and it is my pleasure to officially welcome Aaron Ailman, Executive Director for the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, to begin today's proceedings. Aaron?
Well, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here today. We are excited to announce a new partnership focused on inclusive economic opportunity and growth for our region. CMAP and Northeastern Illinois' 7 county board chairs, as well as the City of Chicago, have convened jointly on the region's most pressing issues since CMAP's inception in 2005. The pandemic placed a new focus on our need to work together, and when our region's leaders asked CMAP to assist in supporting a new regional economic strategy, we identified partners that we believe could really help us advance this strategy and ensure our joint efforts would be set on solid footing. In fact, I recall at that seminal meeting where we had a conversation and Cook County President Preckwinkle impressed upon all of us that this renewed effort must be focused on bringing good jobs in metals manufacturing, the food and beverage industry, in transportation and logistics, and life sciences. Jobs that pay wages that support families, to lift them up, and a focus on equity. CMAP and its partners are already taking a regional approach to improve our transportation system because our extensive infrastructure is our competitive advantage. We must take the same approach to our economic development strategy. By leveraging and promoting the power of this region with all of our combined assets, we can strengthen our position in a fierce global competitive marketplace. We know that economic impact and benefits of our work don't stop at political boundaries. More than half of the region's workers commute across county boundaries on a daily basis to get to and from work. The events of the past 3 years have only reinforced the importance of taking a regional approach to reach beyond a full recovery. There's no question that this partnership, a new strategic direction that it sets for our region, will advance our shared goals of achieving an inclusive and thriving region. CMAP appreciates the opportunity to help shepherd this new era of one regional economic cooperation for Northeastern Illinois, and we appreciate the deep partnership that's made this possible. Here today with us, we have Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Cook County President Tony Preckwinkle, DuPage County Chair Deb Conroy, Kendall County Vice Chair Scott Gengler, Lake County Chair Sandy Hart, McHenry County Administrator Pete Austin, Will County Executive Jennifer Bertino-Tarrant, and other elected officials from Kane County may be in attendance with us as well here today too. Finally, I want to thank our partners on this initiative. Over the past year and a half, CMAP worked with the Brookings Institution, with Merrick and Rachel, who I know are in the room as well, with support from the Searle Funds of the Chicago Community Trust, to facilitate joint decision-making process that has brought us here today. This new collaboration reflects the tireless investments of our region and its commitment to innovative policy solutions. With that, I'm thrilled to introduce Andrea Saenz, President and CEO of the Chicago Community Trust, to speak next. Andrea brings significant experience and leadership to the Chicago Community Trust from her time at the Chicago Public Library and Chicago Public Schools. Her commitment to building trust in diverse communities across our region as she takes the helm of the Chicago Community Trust is really crucial to advancing the Trust's mission of closing the racial and ethnic wealth gaps. We appreciate it. Andrea.
Thank you so much, Erin. Good morning, everybody. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Being here today is such a wonderful way to kick off this new year with hope. Look at this turnout. This is amazing. We're thrilled. As many of you know, Chicago Community Trust is the region's community foundation. We were founded more than a century ago to focus on Chicago's most critical needs. And today, as Erin mentioned, that really leads us to focus on the racial and ethnic wealth gaps that exist throughout our region, that hold so many back, hold so many from fully participating in our economy, and really harm the well-being of all of us as a region. And while much of our work has focused at the community level and the neighborhood level, that same work really highlights the critical importance of taking a regional approach to building an economic development infrastructure. Because as we know, people are not bound by jurisdictions, and neither are the critical institutions that serve us as a region. It's incumbent upon all of us to support this effort for an inclusive and thriving regional economy. And we are grateful to our regional government leaders for their leadership in taking this on. We know that government cannot be expected to create these conditions on their own, so we're also very grateful to the private sector partners who are here with us today and will be with us on this journey, who will make sure that we are focused on the right kinds of markets, the right kinds of jobs, and can partner with our institutions to make sure that our people are well prepared for those jobs through well-designed training, well-designed education. And our philanthropic sector must also play a part. We can support ideas when they are nascent, when they are perhaps too high risk for our governments to spend a whole lot of their time and effort in. And that's why we didn't hesitate to support this planning effort that brought leaders together to create shared goals for growth, competitiveness, and inclusion for our region's economy. At the Trust, we've committed ourselves to a shared vision for a Chicago region where everyone can thrive and reach opportunity. And it's really because this extraordinary place where we live can't fulfill its potential, while many of our neighbors are not fully included in its economic life. So we applaud this effort to keep equity and inclusion at the heart of the work that we do to build the region's economy. Thank you all for being here and for your support of this effort. And it is now my pleasure to invite our next speaker, dear friend, Michael Fasnacht, to the podium. Michael is deeply committed to the development and promotion of the city as its first ever Chief Marketing Officer, but his impact does not stop there. As President and CEO of World Business Chicago, Michael is leading the charge in driving economic growth for the city and prosperity for the city. And now, because not only is Michael passionate about the city and the region, he's also committed to showcasing Chicago as a top-tier hub for technology, for innovation, for a robust pipeline of talent, and for climate resiliency. We're thrilled that his team is going to turn their attention to the entire region. Michael, please.
Good morning, everyone. I really hope someone recorded Andrea's introductions. I can show it to my children that they finally realize I might do something worthwhile. Today is a big milestone for the Chicagoland region. And I would like to thank just at the beginning a few people who were instrumental in making today's happen and possible. Mayor Lightfoot, who has been tirelessly driving collaboration across the region since day one in office. President Breckwinkle, who always reminds me that trust is the foundation of making this partnership successful, and she's right. County Chair Deb Conway, and our new good friend of mine, Choose to Page CEO Greg Badloff, who is really coaching me as well to understand the whole region. And as an immigrant, I can learn on this every single day. And Andrea, thank you for supporting this initiative from day one. CMAP has been an amazing partner. Aaron, thank you so much. Brookings Institute with all their help. And then we have a special guest with Jim Reynolds, who has 2 jobs while he's here today. He's part of my executive committee, so on a good day he's my boss. But he's also the chair of Intersect. So he has a whole Illinois-wide perspective. So I'm thrilled that Jim will say a few words. And then I want to thank as well my Wellbeing Chicago team, especially Carl Schultz, who tirelessly really worked over the last year on making today happen. And I'm so honored and thrilled that so many representatives from the international community, who are here to showcase how important it is that we think as a region, because dear friends from the international world, we want more companies from England, Israel, from all over the world coming here investing. But today is also a big milestone for World Business Chicago. After 23 years, we are expanding our focus to be inclusive of the whole Chicagoland region. The Chicagoland region is vital for the city of Chicago. And the city of Chicago is vital for the Chicagoland region. One cannot thrive without each other. Therefore, collaboration is more important than ever. Today's announcement puts structure and process in place to create true collaboration across the whole region. Business leaders who make expansion or relocation decisions for their corporations are not thinking about artificial city or county limits. They're considering the economic strength, the talent pool, and the quality of life of a whole region. That's how they make decisions. Therefore, our focus is very simple: attracting new investments from existing companies in Chicagoland and attracting new corporations so we can create an inclusive economy for everyone living in our region. It is about opportunities, growth, and prosperity for all. This partnership will consist of an advisory board made up of participating economic development organizational leaders from the city and the region, as well as private leaders. It will be an efficient structure without incremental overhead or bureaucratic hurdles. That is one of the ingredients of success that will make sure we can bring this into the future. We at World Business Chicago will expand our team to include regional leaders to focus on achieving the goals over the next 3 years, to create more than 150 pro-Chicagoland decisions and generate 500 shared new investment opportunities over the next 3 years. Additionally, the World Business Chicago team will support all 7 counties' economic development organizations in 4 areas. First, expanding our focus on our startup ecosystem, not just in the city, but on the whole region, because we have already a thriving startup ecosystem, but bringing the power together of all 7 counties will make it even more powerful. Second, providing ongoing research and data support for each of the counties. Third, in collaboration on all the federal grant opportunities that we have, because we know Washington makes decisions not on a city or county level, they look for regional collaboration. Last but not least, the joint pursuit of international opportunities. And don't be shy, Kia County friends, any of the CGs here today, start pitching today. And if you see the report on our desk that Robin's team has published about the Chicagoland region, it's interesting to just realize a few facts about our region. Chicagoland's GDP is the 3rd largest of any metro area in the US and as big an economy as Sweden or Poland. Our economy is the most diverse amongst any major metro region. No single industry makes up more than 13% of our total economy. Therefore, we are more and better prepared for any economic challenges moving forward. We as well in Chicagoland, the global innovation and tech hub, with plenty of diverse talent, physical space, and connectivity at a fraction of the costs that you find in coastal regions. We have to imagine there are almost 10 million people living in our region with close to 4.7 million jobs right now. So as we continue to emerge from the challenges of the pandemic and look ahead to the future, it is more important than ever that we come together as a united front. This will not be an easy task, especially with some of the economic headwinds on the horizon. But I think together we can build a thriving, inclusive economy that benefits everyone in our region. As I said at the beginning, the key ingredient is continuing trust across all participating leaders in this initiative. Trust that by working together, that 1 + 1, this time 7 times, is not just a simple addition, but it will create synergistic exponential impact for all of us. And I can personally promise you that my team and I will work every single day to earn and grow this trust in our work, every single day. And now it's my true pleasure and honor to introduce a leader who, since day one in office, saw this vision and made something happen that I think other administrations have tried for over 20 years, our Mayor, Laura Lightfoot, of the great city of Chicago.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That was a little lame. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do it again. It's the beginning of the year. Great possibilities always exist at the start of every year. And this is one of, I think, the most important announcements that has been made on the economic front in decades. So let's try it one more time, class. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right. So we are here to, I think, mark a very important development for Chicagoland. As Michael just said, from day one of my administration, I have looked to my neighbors. And we started this partnership trying to understand how we could work better together as a region because of all the obvious things: transportation, logistics, the environment, water in particular, the environment generally. All of these things, we know we are stronger when we go together. And then COVID hit. And what happened then? We didn't shut down our conversations. We deepened our relationships. Many of you know, every Sunday night from March 2020 through May 2020, we had 200 to 300 mayors, village town presidents, and staffs all sharing information about how we could respond to this once-in-a-lifetime challenge that was scaring and threatening our health and well-being of our residents. And coming out of that, we built a relationship that is built to last. This announcement today really arises from that partnership. And I am very proud to have the 7 counties as part of this. I'm particularly pleased to have Cook County President Tony Preckwinkle, newly minted DuPage County Board Leader Deb Conroy, who I know and we worked together when she was a leader in the General Assembly. And I would say, women get shit done. But this is a big and momentous occasion for all of us. And let's just reflect on why that's so. Chicago's surrounding counties have been asking for this kind of partnership for years. And there were previous attempts to get this done. But I am proud to be leading an administration that finally embraces regionalism wholeheartedly and, importantly, delivers this promise. All of us standing here today understand that any economic win for our region is a win for everyone. The counties, cities, and towns represented in this partnership are, in fact, the economic engine of our state, pure and simple. Under my leadership as chairman of the World Business Chicago, we have been very intentional in our focus on regional partnerships. This is best demonstrated through our city's recovery task force and the complementary report, the first of its kind in the nation, with an intentional focus on regionalism. President Preckwinkle, former DuPage County Chairman Durkin, joined, not Durkin, I'm forgetting. Thank you, Cronin, joined us in that effort. And a number of other mayors in the region, because they understood and we understood that we have to recover together as a region. And our economic fortunes go, as they go, so goes the economic fortunes of our entire state. We are the powerhouse for the state and for this region, and we are fully embracing that reality here today. So this morning's announcement is decades in the making and premised, as President Preckwinkle said and Michael emphasized, on trust. and a recognition of the importance of partnerships. Additionally, it's notable that for the past 9 years, Chicagoland has been named the #1 metro region for corporate expansion and relocations by Site Selection magazine. That's not by accident. This new partnership will codify our commitment to rise together as an economic regional powerhouse. The partnership comes at a time of great importance for Chicagoland's economic competitiveness. We as a city have been shifting from economic recovery to economic prosperity. And as we do, we are making sure to lean into our strengths while seizing upon new opportunities. The foundation of the city and Chicagoland's regional economic strength lies in its diversity, as Michael said. And here in Chicagoland, no one industry dominates the economy. We are strong in life sciences, transportation and logistics, food and agriculture, manufacturing, and tech of all kinds. And as a consequence, we have been more resilient in the face of the economic challenges that the entire country has faced because we are the most diverse region. And as a result, we are the best prepared to respond and recover and prosper. Because of this diversity, we were able to weather the storms of the pandemic effectively as a region. The partnership that we announced today honors that strength while seizing the opportunity to broaden our scope. And this will position us to be stronger through any upcoming economic downturns. In other words, we are all stronger together. This partnership will be guided, as Michael said, by an advisory board made up of participating economic development leaders and private sector partners. And as an example of one of the goals is these 150 pro-Chicagoland decisions. Now, one of my administration's key economic measures is what we refer to as pro-Chicago decisions. That's when a company relocates from elsewhere into Chicago or an existing company expands its footprint. And we've had great success even in the face of the economic meltdown occasioned by COVID-19. In 2021, we had 173 pro-Chicago decisions. In 2022, the year that we just finished, 175. With 132 expansions, 43 relocations, our new market entrants, and 27 of these on the south and the west sides of our city. And now the partnership announced today will expand from pro-Chicago to pro-Chicagoland decisions. And we're going to hold ourselves accountable, but measure these metrics. And I know that as a region, we are poised for success. This partnership will demonstrate that we can and should all benefit from any new and expanded economic opportunities coming to our region. Think about the power and innovation and dynamism to market ourselves as a region and draw upon the entire region's strengths when pitching for business, when going after some of the great opportunities that are out there, whether it's electric batteries, whether it's chip production. There is nothing that we can't do when we draw upon our strengths. And as we have seen many times over, how regional partnership can have significant economic impact. And let me give you one example. In July 2021, Forefront Ventures, one of the largest cannabis cultivation operations in the United States, announced that they would build a 550,000 square foot cultivation center in Matteson, a suburban Cook County. This operation created over 500 good-paying jobs for Illinois residents to take advantage of, not to mention the economic success that will bring to that area. This was only made possible by a strong working relationship that is developed between World Business Chicago and President Preckwinkle's Bureau of Economic Development, along, of course, with local leaders in Matteson. This is the type of success that the partnership will try to replicate and scale up over and over again during this 3-year commitment. You know, we're all competitive folks. We like a challenge, and we are going to make sure that this partnership has proof points over and over again as to what the power of coming together can do and how it can benefit all of our region's residents. By working together and leveraging all the tremendous assets that exist throughout Chicagoland, like Argonne Labs, our world-class universities and colleges. In Chicago alone, 200,000 undergrads and graduate students are in Chicago every year for our colleges and universities. Think about when we expand that net to cover the entire Chicagoland region. If we get those college students alone to stay in our region, we are rebuilding the middle class, and that benefits every single one of them. So what you will hear a lot about is partnership, collaboration, trust, but importantly, intentionality, and making sure that we do good for each other. And by doing that, we do good for our residents, we do good for our state, we do good for the entire Midwestern region. We are going to lead, we are going to do well, and we are going to bring it home and deliver for our residents like never before. As you can tell, I feel a little passionate. I'm a little bit excited about this. I think this is going to be absolutely incredibly dynamic for our entire region, and I'm excited that we all are getting it done. Years in the making, but we are delivering. And with that, it's my great pleasure to welcome up an invaluable partner in this effort, Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Lightfoot, especially for getting people to say thank you. Thanks as well to Aaron Ellman, Executive Director of CMAP, Andrea Sines from Chicago Community Trust, our World Business Chicago folks, Brookings Institution, and all of the teams that have helped us get here today. More importantly, I want to recognize the dedicated and committed leaders and economic development staff from DuPage, Kane, Kendall, Lake, McHenry, and Will, the City of Chicago, all of whom have shared a deep and long-standing commitment to regional collaboration. I want to call out Deb Conroy from DuPage, Corinne Pirogue from Kane, Scott Greider from Kendall, Sandy Hart from Lake, Michael Bueller from McHenry, Jennifer Bertino-Tirent from Will. We've worked long and hard on this effort through multiple administrations to achieve this vision of regional collaboration and growth. I appreciate all who've contributed to this goal. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge someone who's not in the room today, Dan Cronin, the former chair of the DuPage County Board, whose service coincided with my tenure as Cook County Board President. He recognized the need to put political differences and geography aside to advance the region, and I'm grateful for his leadership and for the leadership of now Chair Deb Conroy, who happens to be a Democrat. Since I assumed the office in 2010, I've championed a regional approach to economic development, and it's been a top priority in our county. I'm proud to reach this historic milestone that helps advance our commitment to a more inclusive and equitable local economy. This collaboration started with the understanding that our strength resides in us as a region that can boast 2 national laboratories, Fermilab and Argonne in DuPage, a pharmaceutical cluster in Lake, world-class intermodal facilities in Will, and 6 of 7 Class 1 railroads and major interstate highways. It's a region that serves as the nation's center for manufacturing and logistics. It's a region that's home, as you heard from the mayor, to world-class universities and research centers and a vibrant community college system. It's a tech hub with tech incubators, maker spaces, and co-working spaces. And it's a region that offers a highly educated, diverse, and skilled workforce. Because of our strength as a region, businesses that operate in Waukegan, Harvey, Naperville, or Chicago benefit all of us, all of us. These firms employ residents, buy supplies, serve customers from across Chicagoland. We know Will County residents work in Cook, and Cook residents might work in DuPage or Lake. Furthermore, we know that regions with the least inequity are the most economically vital. Because of that fact, it's obviously in our collective interest to work together to grow our region. It's in that spirit that I'd like to quote a Midwestern progressive icon, the late Senator Paul Wellstone from my home state of Minnesota, who always said, "We all do better when we all do better. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Deb Conroy.
Good morning. As the mayor said, I'm the newly minted chair in DuPage County, and I'm thrilled to be on this journey with all of you. There's no better way to start off a new year than pledging to work together on behalf of our regions, our workers, and our business community. The Greater Chicagoland Economic Partnership is made up of singular organizations, individual counties, and communities that offer so much. We have a diverse and educated workforce, prime locations accessible to highways, rail, and air transportation, a business infrastructure that supports innovation and global investment. At the county level, we've each seen the benefits of successful one-off projects in which DuPage, for example, provides a new client office space and Will County provides that same business manufacturing space. Similarly, we've experienced wins where the City of Chicago lands a corporate headquarters and DuPage gains the satellite office or distribution facility for the very same company. Now that we will collaborate on a more comprehensive scale, sharing leads and resources, I believe we can more fully realize the region's potential for attracting new companies on a national and international scale. Our partnership in no way impedes individual economic development efforts, but it enriches each county's access to information and support to help us all land the projects. Together, we can expand and focus the potential investors to look at our region as a whole and consider follow-on projects or greater commitment to the Chicagoland. As the partnership formed, it's important to note that everyone had input and county representatives were honest about what each needed and what each was willing to contribute. Together, we put real skin in the game, signaling our commitment to a collaborative approach. The advantage for the collar counties is clear. The Greater Chicagoland Economic Partnership represents an unprecedented opportunity for a level playing field among all partners. Together, we can target and attract new business investment. We will educate national and international business leaders about the advantages of investing in the Chicagoland area. Each participating jurisdiction has something of value to offer the others. Existing business and prospects must learn about local assets and understand how their business could utilize them to help their organization thrive. I look forward to working with my colleagues as we finally bring this vision, taking a little credit, bring this vision to reality, welcoming new business and employees who will quickly discover the many benefits our region has to offer. Now please welcome Jim Reynolds, CEO and founder of Loop Capital, representing the business community.
I would say good morning, but I think you're awake now, so I won't yell at you like the mayor did.
We call it rallying.
Rallying, Madam Mayor. That's what my wife says when I said, you yelled. She says, I was just speaking loudly to get your attention. Today is a pretty big deal, and I know it's a big deal from what the former speakers have said, just in what could happen. But I think it's a big deal overall for all of business, for leadership, for kids, for schools, for crime, and I'll speak about that in a second. Michael Faustnall, I know your wife. I'll call her and let her know that you do things that are worthwhile every now and then. And your leadership here has truly been amazing at World Business. I think I might be the longest serving World Business Chicago member in the organization. And this day is one that I've been waiting for a long time. I said to Michael coming in, I said, Mike, I've been pushing for this for over a decade. I just couldn't understand why the passion for our region stopped at the borders of Chicago. I just didn't get it. That a person lived on this side of the line and that side of the line, and they didn't benefit from anything that we knew or did, or any of the experiences and knowledge of all of the sophistication that resides in the city. I spend a good amount of time talking about leadership in the corporate space. I've got a good amount of respect for leadership because I know what good leaders, the impact that good leaders can have, and I know the destruction and damage that bad leaders can do. Today is a day about leadership. President Preckwinkle, been a friend for a very long time. Madam Lightfoot, Mayor Lightfoot, really coming together to make this happen. Those two leaders had to come together to say, okay, let's start it from here at the top. The city of Chicago, Cook County, and now let's start really talking about what's going on with the collar counties to bring the entire apparatus up to a level so that it is actually level. I've had a chance to travel around the world for many years with, we're actually starting with Illinois Governor Ryan. We went to Africa to talk about business in South Africa. I traveled to 7 cities in China with Mayor Daley to talk about bringing business back from China to Chicago or Illinois. I traveled to China and Japan with Mayor Emanuel. All of the businesses that we visited over there, every single one of them referred to Chicago land. Not one said, I only care about Chicago, or I only care about the collar counties. It's Chicago land. I've heard that word now more times in one morning than I've heard in 2 or 3 decades, Chicago land. My hope is that that becomes the mantra of how we think about where we reside and where leadership needs to have an impact going forward, because it is Chicago land. One thing, Madam Mayor, that you pointed out that I didn't think about until you just said it, I went to South Africa. It was an expedition led by a man. I went to Asia, 2 expeditions led by men. I went to London and France with you to talk about business. But those 3 out of the 4 expeditions were led by men. We didn't get much done. So I think it should have been more women running these expeditions, because you all got it done. When I think about not just the business aspects, because the other hat I wear is chairman of the board of the Chicago Community Trust, Andrea, we talk about the impact we can have on our youth overall. When I think about the youth in Chicago and the youth in the other counties that are behind me, they got the same issues. Jobs, skills, education, economic activity, putting some hope inside of these young people to make them want to aspire, the same things. And as I think about the things that we do in Chicago that can be exported to all of those counties and bring the whole thing up, it is truly amazing about what happened here today. I want to close by saying, one, I want to applaud the leadership. Mayor Lightfoot, Tony, that you've accomplished today, and also all of the counties, the Collar County leaders that actually came together to do this. I think from a business perspective and many others, what we did today is going to unleash a significant amount of global investment activity in this state that we've been striving for and trying to do. And I wear one more hat, and I warned Michael of this. I'm chairman of the board of Intersect Illinois, which is the state's version of World Business Chicago. We'll tackle that one next, bringing the entire state together with what we're doing and the leadership we're showing in this area. So thank you very, very much. Madam Mayor, thanks for having me speak today. Tony, thank you.
Again, thank you to all the speakers. This ends this morning's ceremony. Please stay here, mingle. We have food and drinks. We can't return them, so please enjoy them as much as possible. And we'd like that the speakers stand up for a photo, and all the counties represented, please come up for a joint photo here on stage. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.